Well, that wasn't good at all. Oh my God, it's back to the shitty form again. It's like, it just from the very beginning, you're telling me there was no night watch person in a town that is surrounded by threats. There is no 24-hour guard detail. There's no night graveyard shift, pardon the pun, graveyard shift person watching things, and the only character is like a 7-year-old kid, 8-year-old kid who's just smarter than everybody else. Now, I like kids. I think kids are really smart in their own way. And at the same time, I don't think they're that smart in that they can just track someone like Negan down like that. And Judith was just from in the beginning and then in the end, and then just the way the dialogue is written for Judith is just, that's not how a kid speaks. You know, I just, it's really a pet peeve of mine when it comes to kids that they're not written properly, because obviously adults are writing the show, so they're writing the kids the way adults would speak, and maybe there are exceptions, but I think for the most part, just kids don't talk like that. So that was just something I didn't like. I wish kids could just be kids on the show. And then just, I didn't care that Jesus died. Now, Jesus in the comic book is awesome. Just a great, gruff, tough, well-developed character. And I know the actor who plays Jesus didn't want to do the show anymore, and that's why they killed him off. But there wasn't any build-up for Jesus anyway, so it didn't matter that he died. His death didn't really mean anything. And then it was just comical the way they had him over the horse like that. And then when they brought him back, it's like, yeah, we've seen this kind of thing before. It didn't pave any new ground. I'm not a big fan of the Tara character. There's nothing really compelling about her. And then just the dialogue is just goofy with Luke and Alden about starting a band. It's like, I don't care. I don't know you well enough to even care that you want to start a stupid band. And then with the strategy with the Whisperer taking the Whisperer prisoner, it was just like something out of like an old like 50s gumshoe detective novel. Like they put her in a chair going, where were you? And what's going on? Or this? And now, like, since when is Daryl a good judge of character? He's never been a good judge of characters. I don't know where they got that from. They're just making stuff up. So I don't know. It just doesn't seem like anything cohesive. And like, I know where the Whisperer, in the comic book, the Whisperer story, I kind of know where it goes, and it's cool, but I don't know if they're going to be able to pull it off with this, and I don't know if I really care that much. I mean, I'll still watch it, but it's just like there was a lot of promise last season, the way things would go, and it just seems to not have that anymore. Maybe because certain members of the cast are leaving, or they killed some characters off and a little early, and it's just not there, at least not yet. And like some of the Walker effects, it just seems like they put it in there just to put it in there, you know, like with Negan roaming around and you see the Walker coming out of the ashes. It looked like it was just made for effect. Same thing with the Walker, with the other Walker tied to it. So it just didn't really seem to have a purpose to it. And so, you know, it'll be interesting to see Negan's relationship with Judith. I know in the comic he had a relationship with Carl, so I think they're trying to do that because Carl's dead on the show. So, I don't know, it was just kind of flat. Like, this whole episode was flat. So, I hope it's not a taste of things to come, but I just don't care right now, and I kind of cared last season. So it's just weird. It's like those little pet peeves, you know, these small errors just all add up to one big gigantic error. So I don't know. Maybe next week will be better. Maybe it won't. We'll see. All right. Anyway, so you can feel free to share and rate this episode. You can find me on Twitter at MMAM Podcast. You can find me on Facebook at MMAM Podcast. I just got an email address. How do you like that? Welcome to the modern world. And that's MMAM Podcast at gmail.com. All right. Hopefully next week's Walking Dead won't be too disappointing. All right. Bye.